Paper. It's an essential part of our lives. It provides an outlet for our creativity, helps us solve problems, connects us in a personal, meaningful way, and helps to sustain the future of our forests. That's right, a robust forest products market keeps these trees thriving. At State-of-the-Art Packaging Corporation of America Mills in Alabama and Minnesota, skilled employees make Boise paper with purpose, and we'd like to take you with us on a journey. The complex paper-making process is rooted in century-old practices of converting wood fiber into pulp, which is then formed into paper. This historic knowledge, combined with modern, evolving technologies, give us the paper-making process we use today. From the forest to the sheet of paper loaded in your printer, we'll show you how paper is made and introduce you to those who know it best. Nearly 1 million people are directly employed by the wood products industry in the United States, and more than 1,500 men and women manufacture Boise paper at PCA's 2 white paper mills, including the mill here in International Falls, Minnesota, where they've been making high-quality paper products for over a century. Boise Paper promises customers collaboration, performance, and sustainability, and our paper-making process shows these promises in action. It all begins here in the carefully maintained and nurtured forest, where hardworking foresters follow strict standards to grow sustainable forests. They carefully select groups of trees for harvesting at just the right time. Care is taken to protect all forest wildlife, habitat plants, soil, and water quality.
I'm the 4th generation logger in Minnesota, 3rd generation that is delivered to the International Falls Mill. We use logging practices that help preserve soil and water quality and promote natural regeneration and wildlife habitat. 70% of our logging is done in the wintertime on frozen ground. We like 25 to 30 below to help with that.
I've been a forester for International Falls Mill for 30 years. I enjoy working with public resource managers and private landowners procuring timber sales for our mill. I'm proud to work for a company that supports third-party forest certification programs that drive continuous improvement in our operations. PCA foresters keep up to date on forest practices that protect the environment and technologies that increase efficiencies in the field.
The vast majority of forests in the U.S. exist on privately owned forest land. A strong forest products industry provides great economic benefit to local communities and school districts while allowing landowners to affordably manage lands, improve forest health, wildlife habitat, recreation, and forest access.
What I love about being a forester is working in the woods. I've always wanted to work in the woods, be outdoors most every day, and this job provides that for me. Sustainable forestry is important for managing these forests for a long time and keeping a healthy economy in this area. I'm very proud working for PCA as they're a big supporter in our community, employing a lot of people.
From the forest, harvested trees are taken to the Woodyard Processing Center. There, logs are sorted, then loaded into trucks and delivered to the mill.
When the wood comes in on trucks, it gets unloaded onto our log decks, which operators then feed it into debarkers, whether it be 100-inch or tree length. And once it's fully debarked, it gets sent into large chippers, where it drops onto conveyors and goes out to our chip storage yard, where it goes into piles to be aged. And then once it's done aging, the chips are loaded into a reclaim where they're pneumatically blown to the mill for usage. The leftover bark is used as fuel for cooking the chip into pulp. Once at the mill, they're loaded into huge digesters that act like large pressure cookers. I've worked at the process center. I was hired in here into this department. I've been here for going on just 12 years now. What I like about my day-to-day job is just working with different people, different challenges it brings. I was born and raised here, so I've known most of our local suppliers all my life. So you get to deal with them on a day-to-day basis. So it's just like having a bunch of friends over every day.
The wood chips are mixed with water and chemicals and cooked at 320 to 340 degrees for approximately 2 hours before they turn to pulp. This forms the basis of the paper-making process on our paper machines. Boise Paper products are manufactured on 4 paper machines across the country. The big machine in International Falls is I-1, or short for International Falls Paper Machine Number 1. It is almost as long as 2 football fields and primarily produces uncoated paper for business and personal use. Every minute, 50,000 gallons of pulp are fed into the huge machine, and well-trained, highly skilled operators run I-1 nearly 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Paper making process here on I-1 is right now with the stock coming out of the head box onto our forming wire. At that point there is a mat, chemicals are added. Key is to remove the water as the stock mat moves down the machine. After on the first wire, it'll come into the first nip between the top wire and the bottom wire. At that point it'll be pressed. Then it moves on to our vacuum section. Then it moves into our tri-nip, which is actually a different type of fabric, which are pressed felts. And at that point, more water is removed. Then it moves on into our dryer section.
What was once a fiber mat is now a continuous sheet of paper. When that sheet of paper leaves the press section, it now enters the dryer section. In the dryer section, it is weaved through a bunch of dryer cans that are filled with steam, which help evaporate the moisture from the sheet. After the main section dryers, it enters the size press. At the size press, it is 2 soft nipped rolls that apply starch and other additives to the surface of the sheet to help seal and give sheet integrity. Once it leaves the size press, it enters the after section dryers, which proceeds to dry it to a certain specification for the customer. Finally, the long sheet goes through a calendar stack, the 2 rolls that use tremendous force until the paper's desired thickness and surface properties are reached.
I've worked here for almost 29 years, seen pretty much everything, been here since they put the pilings in the ground and this was built. We live here, lots of family members that live in the community, and that's part of the reason why we're here. A family supporting, community supporting job, good wages, good place to work. You don't just find this type of job anywhere.
Throughout this paper-making process, gauging systems scan the sheet to continually monitor the paper's quality. After processing it to its desired targets, a machine called a winder cuts the massive roll into smaller, more manageable rolls. Employees take samples from the rolls and test them to ensure the paper meets our strict quality specifications. Once the paper has been tested for quality, the rolls are conveyored to our converting facility.
In this building here, the rolls come down from the paper machine and they're loaded into back stands where they're then converted down and cut into reams of paper. And they go 120 reams a minute down to packaging lines where they are then packaged into ream paper and then go onto a conveyor to the palletizers where they are then put into boxes and wrapped and shipped out.
Loaders pick up the pallets and either directly load them into rail cars, trucks, or place them in the warehouse for stock inventory. Paper that has met our highest standards for quality and excellence is then shipped out, making its way to stores, offices, and homes. Consideration of our environment impacts everything we do. All Boise Paper products made by PCA are certified to meet product performance and sustainability standards. Water used in the mill is processed in our water treatment center. We replenish oxygen levels and microorganisms that cleanse the water before it is returned to the environment. Some of the remaining material not used to make paper is trucked off-site to be used in landfill reclamation projects, and ash is donated to local farmers to help with low pH in the soil. The International Falls Mill routinely receives a certificate of accommodation from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency for outstanding operation of its wastewater treatment facility. Community is at the heart of every endeavor, and our commitment to quality and performance is a source of pride for the employees making high-quality Boise Paper products.
Boise Paper with Purpose means we make more than paper, we make a difference. Here in International Falls, we partner with local elementary and secondary schools to provide paper supplies to classrooms, supporting the children and teachers in our very own community. Whether it's donating materials to spruce up a playground, or funds for a robotics team, food shelf, or local community college, we're proud to support organizations who enhance the lives of those who live and work in the community.
Boise Paper's partnership with the Arbor Day Foundation turns abandoned urban areas into parks through Project Up.
PCA and Boise are huge for this community. They generate a lot of support for the community, not only in tax base alone, but just for jobs and longevity.
At PCA Mills, we're proud to manufacture Boise Paper products. We promise to deliver collaboration, performance, and sustainability, both in our products and in the processes used to make them. Paper connects us in a personal, meaningful way while helping us make important contributions to a more sustainable future. Every time you buy, use, and recycle Boise Paper products, you can be confident that you're contributing to Boise's Paper with Purpose mission.